Hi, friends. Hello. How are you? So, today we are beginning to film a Netgalley manga reading vlog. My eyes are dry as sandpaper, and so they're a little bit red. They're really itchy, so that's why I don't have makeup on. So, I'm just gonna get that out there right now. So, I might not look my best in this vlog, but I still want to get the content out to you guys. So, let's talk about the titles that I have from Netgalley. There are 10, and it's gonna be a wild time. So, the first one I have is The Springtime of My Life Began With You, Volume 1. This looks like it's going to be a really cute high school shoujo. Then I have With the Sheikh and His Harem, Volume 1, which y'all know me. Like, this just looks up my alley, and I'm excited. And then I also have The Honey Blood Beauty and Her Vampire. Y'all know me and vampires. It's a thing, it's a mood, it's a moment. It's what we love. Then I have Kyle's Little Sister. I actually think it's a graphic novel rather than a manga, but I'm still going to read it in this vlog because I have a feeling my manga peeps would be more interested because it is coming out through Yen Press, so it may be a manga. I can't remember, but it's a single contained story. It's not a volume. Number 5, Volume 1 by Taiyo Matsumoto. It just looked interesting, and I haven't heard anybody talking about it, so I wanted to give it a try. And then I have RWBY, the official manga, Volume 3, which I believe is the final volume, so I'm excited about that. I do have Blue Flag Volume 8, which I know is the final volume, and I'm gonna die, and I'm gonna cry, and it's all good, we're fine. Then I have Beastars Volume 13. I usually have a volume of Beastars in these because I love Beastars. I have Call of the Night Volume 2. I'm really interested to see how Volume 2 falls out. And then I have Volume 13 of Komi Can't Communicate. And you all know that I love Komi. So, with that said, let's go ahead and dive in. Alrighty, so I just finished the first volume of With the Sheik in His Harem. So essentially, this is about this high school girl. Her family's pretty desolate. Her dad's not been able to find work, so he has a lot of debt. The mom has passed away, so a lot of it falls to our main lead. And she accidentally ends up rescuing this prince who's a sheik. He's the second prince in his kingdom. We love those second princes in shoujo manga. Let's be real. I mean, Snow White with her red hair. We love Zen. And they have a very similar look. Their eye colors are different, though. So anyways, this second prince, his name is Louis. And she ends up taking him to the top floor of the building that she's working in. And he's talking about committing suicide. And she makes a passionate plea saying, you know, I don't want your money because your life is worth more than any money. And so he's found his reason to live, and it's for her. And so he comes and proposes marriage and offers to take care of her family and all of the debts of her father and things like that. And so like from there, she's married to him, but she is the only member of his harem. And it's just a really sweet shoujo romance from there, with the first prince trying to take out the second prince, which is pretty obvious. I mean, we're dealing with politics. That's a pretty common trope in politics. And because Louis has this resemblance to like the first god or whoever, because in their kingdom, royalty is akin to God. The first prince with dark hair feels threatened. It's really interesting. I really liked it. I'm definitely going to be reading more in future. This is one I'm definitely going to keep going with because it's a lot of fun. I would love to see it get a physical print because the art style is stunning. So funny and so cute. And this prince just dotes on her and she's just like, no, don't do that. Don't spend your money on me. Like, let's go to the market and get all the bargains for the kitchen. And it's just cute. I really like it because she's kind of humbling him through the process of this story. And he realizes how important she is to him, obviously. And he's trying to show it in his way. But she's like, no, that's not how I feel loved. Like, it's cute. I really, really like it. So I'm definitely going to be picking up more. And yeah, it's good. Definitely pick that one up. The next one that I read was The Springtime of My Life Began With You. And in this one, it's actually really sweet. we have the shy introverted girl and the popular boy trope going on here. But the way it's all coming across is really realistic compared to some of the others to me. Because originally, like, he goes to ask her out as part of, like, this game that the popular kids play. And she calls him on it immediately. She's like, this is just this game, right? And, like, because she finally, like, spoke up, like, he started to backpedal and say, no, this is real, da 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 da. But the more he actually got to know her, he really wanted to ask her out for real. So at about the halfway point of the volume, he does actually ask her out legitimately after they've gotten to know one another and they've actually spoken more and things. And so they decide to start going out. And so he wants to make all of her dreams come true and see all of her different expressions. And it's really sweet. And just the way that she's still insecure about the situation. And it's not because she's not confident in herself so much. It's that she is outside of her element, and that's why she questions everything. And so I really like the way that he handles her questions and the way that she is getting the confidence to ask for things for herself. So it's this really great back and forth between the two of them. I think it's really sweet. And I do think I want to continue with this one. It's giving me, it's almost like a Honey So Sweet kind of situation where people assume one thing about a person, but it's not true. And like our popular guy, he used to play baseball. He can't pitch anymore. He injured his shoulder and everybody like guilts him over all of that. And that's how he got popular and stuff. And so she sees the real him that he doesn't let others see because he is upset about it and doesn't always want to talk about it. And he feels like he doesn't have a lot to offer people either. And so just the way that they're coming together and connecting is really sweet. And I really like it. So. Alrighty, so I just finished the Honey Blood Beauty and her Vampire. Now, this one, it's definitely like a woman and her bodyguard kind of a situation because she has honey blood, obviously, which means it's more tempting to vampires. It has like a pheromone thing going on. But anyways, already within the first volume, there's this interloper guy who's trying to get to her and take her away from her SP. And it's just trying to figure out how to word this. I feel like it's not lining up right. Like, the story feels a little clunky. It's not very smooth in its storytelling in a way because she's attracted to her SP and her SP's attracted to her. And this guy is obviously trying to insert himself into the situation. But, like, there's this thing where the SP will be the one who ends up killing the girl with the honey blood. And it's, like, I feel like things are intentionally being rushed or intentionally being left out. And it's not working as well as the mangaka hoped it would, at least with this first volume. This is one I would definitely give at least one more volume to see if the storytelling smoothed out a bit. The art is good. Not my favorite art that I've read, even just today with what I've read so far. But yeah, it's still like fair. But I think if I'm going to read a vampire story, I would rather read Vampire Dormitory than this one. And Vampire Dormitory is getting a physical release. Oh, hey, so I just finished the manga / graphic novel of Kyle's little sister. So being a little sister, I related to a lot of the feelings that she had towards her brother Kyle throughout the course of the story. Essentially, he's in 8th grade, she's in 6th grade, and they were kind of dealing with this year of school together. And the people who befriended her just to get closer to her brother and her longtime friends, they got into a fight, said horrible things they didn't mean, and that caused another rift, and obviously all of her pent-up feelings about living in her brother's shadow. So I think this is a great title for a younger audience. 6th grade Shayla would have related to everything in that volume of manga. And I think it's really well done. I think it comes across in a way that is like educational and helping a kid maybe not overreact to living in their sibling's shadow. It's definitely more in that middle grade feel, and I think it's just really well done. It's simple enough. There is some bullying going on. There's a girl who enters the picture after the friend fight that ends up bullying one of the other friends in defense of our main character, Grace. And Grace was uncomfortable with it the whole time, and you see that, and you see how she kind of got pulled along with this other person who was trying to use Grace to get to know her brother Kyle. And it's just a really good example of what to not let people do and how you deserve to be treated. And it's okay if friends fight. You can always work through it. You just have to sit and talk, have the awkward conversation and stuff. It just really came across really well. I was really happy with how that came across. I just repeated myself. But yes, it was good. I do recommend. Alrighty, so I just finished number 5 by Taiyo Matsumoto. They're the same mangaka that did Cats of the Louvre, and I adored Cats of the Louvre. But I read this first volume of number 5, and I think I'm just too stupid to understand it. Like, I felt like there was too much going on, and too much of it was fantasy. And you're literally just dropped in the story. Like, you have zero context. You really don't understand the world at all. And this is like 300 pages of confusion for me. And I mean, I'm not a dumb person, I would say, but I think I'm just too dumb to understand and appreciate the subtlety that Taiyo Matsumoto loves to put into their series. So I'm giving this one 3 stars. I just don't think it's a series for me, but I think it's still a brilliant piece. And I don't want to give it 1 star because I didn't understand it. You know what I mean? And it still has that very classic Matsumoto art style. And I was really excited when I heard about this one because I adored Cats of the Louvre. But I think this is one I would have to read like 3 or 4 times to really like fully understand and get it. I mean, I could understand like the basic plot that was kind of going on, but I couldn't even like regurgitate it and tell it to you, other than there's this magical world and there are these like hybrid human animal kind of creatures, and they kind of protect the realm, and I believe there's 9 of them if I remember correctly. And we focus on number 5, obviously. So that's about all I can tell you about what it's about. But like I say, I just think I'm not intelligent enough to tell you more about it. Alrighty, so I just finished RWBY, the official manga, volume 3. This one was obviously a very Blake-heavy volume. I just really enjoyed my time with the series. I think if you're a hardcore fan of RWBY, you're gonna love it. But for me, like, this was my only exposure to RWBY is this series. And it was fine. I do think there are better, like, magical girl style series out there. But this is really a lot about like female empowerment and stuff. So it's still a really solid, really good series. With that, you know, I'm giving it like a 3.5 on an ending. You know, I don't think it did anything wrong necessarily, but it was just fine to me. I mean, like I said, I've read better and I've read better recently. So that's kind of all I have to say about RWBY. I'll probably check out the anime someday if it ever comes back to Netflix. And yeah. Hi. So I just finished Blue Flag, and it's the final volume, and I am all up in my feelings about it. And I truly believe that it is the perfect ending to this series. I feel like all of our 4 main characters that we follow from volume 1 to volume 8 make the decisions that are truly the best decisions for them. There are times early on in the series, obviously, where they let other people's opinions in society kind of dictate how they're going to react in situations. But this final volume, you find each one of them standing up for what they want, what they need, and doing what's best for themselves. And all of them end up in relationships that I think work perfectly for them. Everybody has a happy ending. That's all I'm going to say. And it is everything. It's just everything. This series means so much more to me than I thought it ever would when I first read it a year ago. And this last year of reading Blue Flag, every time I could get my hands on a volume, just has been such a beautiful journey. This is an all-time favorite series. I love it with so much of my being. It has so many important conversations, and it is just perfection. Where's the next Kaito series already? I need more Kaito in my life. Whatever this mangaka produces, I really hope Viz will publish physically for us, because this was amazing, and I cannot wait to see what the mangaka does next.
Hi guys, Editing Shay here. As I'm going through here, I either didn't record my thoughts for this volume or they got lost somewhere along the way. So I'm just going to tell you my thoughts right here. So obviously I just read Beastars volume 13. This volume was absolutely fantastic. It's great to get to know Legoshi's grandfather more, who's featured on the cover here. Yeah, I know. And it's just a really interesting volume. It's definitely setting up to ramp up towards the end. We know that we're past the halfway point in this series, so we're going to get this one other arc, and then it's going to be finished. We see some people we haven't seen for a while, so there are some impressions made that make things a little bit interesting for the next bit. And the character that I believe is going to be featured on the next cover is definitely like, they've been curious about Legoshi for a while now, and we're seeing that come into play a little bit more. So it's going to be really interesting to see how that plays out. Basically, this one did a lot to kind of establish where Legoshi's at on his baseline. He confides his deepest, darkest secret to his grandfather, and he sees a different side of his grandfather in this volume as well. So it's really, really interesting. I really loved it. And I highly recommend the series once again. This is one of my all-time favorites. Y'all know that, though. So I hope you guys enjoy this volume of Beastars as well.
Hello, it's a new day. I just finished volume 2 of Call of the Night. And with this one, the general premise of it isn't so bad, and the execution isn't bad either. I'm not enjoying volume 2 as much as I enjoyed volume 1. We're bringing in some other characters and teaching them more about the nightlife. And we're dealing with a 14-year-old kid with a really jaded look on the world, and this vampire girl who is helping him see it the way she sees it, and I don't know, it feels kind of sus, if I'm honest. So I don't think I'm gonna collect any more physically. I don't know. This is one where I think I'll continue to request arcs for it for now. But like, I don't know. I don't know that it's one I would ever like revisit over and over. So I don't know if I want it for my physical collection right now. We'll see. But like I say, volume 2 wasn't bad. I think just the jaded look on the world that these kids have is really affecting how the series is moving forward. And so I'm just really intrigued and interested to see at least what one more volume has to say. Like I say, I'm abiding by my rule of try 3 unless I don't even finish the first volume, kind of a thing. So yeah. Alrighty, so I just finished volume 13 of Komi Can't Communicate, and as always, it was a solid Komi volume. Hold on. This is Shayla. Yes, 10:30 is perfect. I will be there. Just got my nail appointment moved up because I busted a nail. But anyways, so it's a solid Komi volume. Not everybody's gonna love Komi, and this is not a series that you could sit down and read multiple volumes at a time with it. It's one of those where It's best to read them like one at a time, just as you feel like reading Komi. I do think this one was a solid entry in the series. We see different types of communication disorders or people who choose to not communicate for certain reasons. And so I think this particular volume was a really good take. And it talks about different kinds of social anxieties and things. And so it was just really well done. And we actually got to have Shoko talking out loud quite a bit with the young little mini me that's on the cover here. And it was just really sweet. I really liked it. So with that said, that is the end of this vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed it. You guys tend to really enjoy my thoughts on what's coming up soon. So again, if you've read any of these, let me know in the comments down below what you think of the series. If you're here just because you love me, then leave me a cherry blossom or a sakura emoji, because that's one of my favorite flowers. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.